Hello and welcome to Christchurch Thornton on Monday the 23rd of November for Lyrics on Lunch with Banjo Bob. It's great that you're watching and I hope you watch every week at 1 o'clock and have a great sing-along. Bob's in church, let's go to Bob now and he's going to lead us into some fantastic songs. Come on in Bob, your turn.
Hello and welcome to Lyrics and Lunch. What day is Monday? Monday the 23rd of November. Wow, can you believe it? Now, the first thing to say is, whoa, who was watching last week? Apologies about that. We had some kind of internet problem, didn't we? So if you did tune in last week, we do apologise. You got about 7.5 minutes and then it all cut out and it was all horrible, wasn't it? So we do apologise. There was nothing we could do about it. So apologies for that, but we're going to have another go at it this week. Okie dokie. So the theme, I gave a bit of a hint about the theme the week before, and it's going to be animals. Yes, for this week and possibly next week too. So animals appearing in the title of the song. Okay, so we've got plenty to go at, but first things first, let's sing our welcome song, Here We Are Together, okay, to have a good sing. Are you ready? Here we are together, together, together. Here we are together to have a good sing with you and me and everyone who's watching. Here we are together to have a good sing. Well done. Wow, okie dokie. So, our first song then with animals in the title. Doggy in the window. How much is that doggy in the window? Oh, which reminds me, I always have to do my joke, don't I, when we sing this song? Yeah, you're not getting away with it. Yeah, I went to the pet shop the other day. I went inside. I said, how much is that doggy in the window? He said, what, the one with the waggly tail? I said, no, the other one. Oh, come on, you knew I was going to do it. Okay then, how much is that doggy in the window? Now, remember to join in the barking bits, okay? You can join in, I'll do them as well, and you join in with the barking bits. Okie dokie, here we go. Are you ready? How much is that doggy in the window? The one with the waggly tail. How much is that doggy in the window? I do hope that doggy's for sale. I must take a trip to California and leave my poor sweetheart alone. If he has a dog, he won't be lonesome, and the doggy will have a good home. How much is that doggy in the window? The one with the waggly tail. How much is that doggy in the window? I do hope that doggy's for sale. I read in the papers there are robbers with flashlights that shine in the dark. My love needs a doggy to protect him and scare them away with one bark. Oh, key change. I don't want a bunny or a kitty. I don't want a parrot that talks. I don't want a bowl of little fishes. He can't take a goldfish for a walk. Last time. How much is that doggy in the window? The one with the waggly tail. How much is that doggy in the window? I do hope that doggy's for sale. Ah, there we go. We haven't done that for a while, have we? How much is that doggy in the window? Lovely. Okie dokie. Now, our next one is, we could have done it maybe in the colour ones, but not quite. It is from 1983, recorded by Culture Club, written by Boy George. It's Karma Chameleon. It's a lovely song, Karma Chameleon. Here we go. I'll just get me starting notes. Just bear with me a second. persuade. If I listened to your lies, would you say I'm a man without conviction? I'm a man who doesn't know how to sell the contradiction. You come and go, you come and go. Karma, 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 chameleon. You come and go, you come and go. Loving would be easy if your colors were like my dreams. Red, gold and green, red, gold and green. Didn't hear your wicked words every day. And you used to be so sweet, I heard you say that my love was an addiction. When we cling, our love is strong. When you go, you're gone forever. You string along, you string along. Karma, 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 chameleon. You come and go, you come and go. Loving would be easy if your colors were like my dreams. Red, gold and green, red, gold and green. Every day is like survival, survival. You're my lover, not my rival. Every day is like survival, survival. You're my lover, not my rival. I'm a man without conviction. I'm a man who doesn't know how to sell a contradiction. You come and go, you come and go. Karma, 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 chameleon. You come and go, you come and go. Loving would be easy if your colors were like my dreams. Red, gold and green, red, gold and green. Karma, 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 chameleon. You come and go, you come and go. Loving would be easy if your colors were like my dreams. Red, gold and green, red, gold and green. Oh, lovely. Do you remember it? It's a great song, isn't it? Karma, Chameleon. Written by Boy George. 1983. Wowee. Me and Leslie were at Butlins, Pathelli, Redcoats. Wowee. Okie dokie. Next song. Oh, we're back to a dog again. This one is from it was written in 1952 by Lieber and Stoller, but famously recorded by Elvis Presley in 1956. Wowee. Now this song, Hound Dog, has been recorded more than 250 times. Wow. Obviously Elvis Presley's version is the most famous one, and it was one of the best-selling singles of all time. It sold about 10 million copies. Wowee. Hound Dog. Here we go. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. Well, you ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. But they said you was high class, well that was just a lie. Yeah, they said you was high class, well that was just a lie. Well, you ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. Well, you ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. said you was high class. Well, that was just a lie. Yeah, they said you was high class. Well, that was just a lie. Well, you ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. Said you was high class. Well, that was just a lie. Yeah, they said you was high class. Well, that was just a lie. Well, you ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. Well, you ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. Oh, well done if you joined in with that one. Hound Dog. Wowee. Now we're going from, let's have a look. Oh, dogs to monkeys. Yes, the theme from the monkeys. Uh-oh. Showbiz anecdote time. Yeah, I've met one of the monkeys, and I don't mean Gary the gorilla either. No, I worked on a show. It was a TV show. Remember me telling you I did quite a bit of extra work, you know, where you're sort of an extra body in the background on TV shows and things. Well, this was about 30 years ago, and it was a children's program called Murphy's Mob. Okay, and it was about a football team, and I got cast. It was a bad bit of casting. I got cast as a footballer, and well, I got to be honest. I was the most camp-looking footballer you ever did see in your life. Anyway, the director that day was Mickey DeLenz. Yes, from the Monkees. He became a TV producer and director. And he directed and produced lots and lots of programs. Anyway, he was directing this program. And the floor manager on the day got us all together before he arrived and said, now, you must mention the Monkees. You must not mention the Monkees or about anything of his time with the Monkees or singing or the program or anything. We're just here to film this program. Just let him direct and get on with it. So do not mention the Monkees. Well, it's hard, isn't it, when somebody tells you that? So we spent the whole day with Mickey DeLenz directing us in all these different scenes in like a football dressing room and then training on the football ground. And you know, nobody did mention the Monkees, but I could just really feel all of us were singing this theme song in our heads all day long. So I'm going to have a go at it. The theme from the Monkees. And it's quite hard, this, so it's a bit tricky. I'll have a go. Help me out with it, please. Here we go. Hopefully you just didn't hear Damien blowing his nose in the office. Right, here we go. I've got to get the right note on this. It's a bit tricky. Hang on. Here we come, walking down the street. We get the funniest looks from everyone we meet. Hey, hey, we're the Monkees. People say we monkey around, but we're too busy singing to put anybody down. Go wherever we want to, do whatever we like to. We don't have time to get restless. There's always something new. Hey, hey, we're the Monkees. People say we monkey around, but we're too busy singing to put anybody down. We're just trying to be friendly. Come and watch us sing and play. We're the young generation, and we've got something to say. Anytime or anywhere, just look over your shoulder. Guess who'll be standing there? Hey, hey, we're the Monkees. People say we monkey around, but we're too busy singing to put anybody down. We're just trying to be friendly. Come and watch us sing and play. We're the young generation, and we've got something to say. Hey, hey, we're the Monkees. Hey, hey, we're the Monkees. Hey, hey, we're the Monkees. told you that was an hard one, didn't I? Wow, that is tricky. The Monkees. Wow, that was 1966, by the way, the year, if you were thinking and wondering. Oh no, 1967. Ah, it was written in 1966. The Monkees recorded it in 1967. Right, we're going from monkeys to horses. Yes. Can you think of any songs with horses in the title? The Osmonds. Crazy Horses. Yeah, I thought about that. I might do it next week, but I've got to practice the synthesizer sound, haven't I? Crazy horses. Wing, wing, wing. I'll do it. I'll practice that next week. But no, this is not that one. But this was from 1971, and it's called A Horse with No Name. I'm just going to have a little sip of water. Excuse me a sec. Yeah, A Horse with No Name. Do you remember who sang that? Yes, the group America. Correct. Well done. 2 points if you said that. Yes. Okay. Now, this was sung by a chap, Dewey Bunnell, and he sang it in a very high-pitched voice. So I'm going to try and do that actually. When it came out, people thought it was by Neil Young. Do you remember that name, Neil Young? He had a very high-pitched voice, and the record at the time that Neil Young had out was Heart of Gold. And this record, A Horse with No Name, knocked Heart of Gold off the top spot in America and became number one. So here we go, then A Horse with No Name, recorded by America. Once again, a little bit tricky, but I'll have a go. Damien's on editing, so we'll see if it's still in the finished edit. Here we go.
Remember your name, because there ain't no one for to give you no pain. La 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 la. After 2 days in the desert sun, my skin began to turn red. After 3 days in the desert fun, I was looking at a riverbed, and the story it told of a river that flowed made me sad to think it was dead. You see, I've been through the desert on a horse with no name. It felt good to be out of the rain. In the desert, you can't remember your name, 'cause there ain't no one for to give you no pain. La 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 la. La 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 la. After 9 days, I let the horse run free, 'cause the desert had turned to the sea. There were plants and birds and rocks and things. There were sand and hills and rings. The ocean is a desert with its life underground and a perfect sky above. Under the cities lies a heart made of ground, but the humans will give no love. You see, I've been through the desert on a horse with no name. It felt good to be out of the rain. In the desert, you can't remember your name, because there ain't no one for to give you no pain. La 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 la, la la.
Ah, A Horse with No Name. Do you remember it? Wow, 1971 by America. Wow, right, we're going from horses to, wow, a very unusual creature, octopus. Yes, it's the Beatles again. This is Octopuss's Garden, written by Ringo Starr. Now, Ringo Starr wasn't his real name. Does anybody know Ringo Starr's real name? 1 point for this. Ah, well done. Who said Richard Starkey? Give yourself a point. Now, do you know what? Leslie's mum's maiden name was Starkey. Huh. So I'm just kind of wondering, maybe Leslie. I thought maybe Leslie's related to Ringo Starr. Mind you, then I heard her on the drums. No, she's not. Okie dokie, here we go then. Octopuss's Garden, recorded by the Beatles in 1969. Now, there's a little story to this. Ringo Starr wrote it when he was on, like a little holiday on Peter Sellers' boat, right, in Sardinia. And the captain of the boat was telling Ringo Starr about how octopuses go along the seabed collecting shiny objects to make a garden for themselves. Yeah, that's true. And then he came off the boat and then wrote this song, Octopuss's Garden. So here we go then. I'm sure you know it. You'll recognise it when you hear it. I thought, have I ever heard this song before? Then when I had a look at it to learn it, I thought, oh yeah, I have. So here we go. It's a lovely song, Octopuss's Garden. Here we go.
I'd like to be under the sea in an octopus's garden in the shade. He'd let us in, knows where we've been, in his octopus's garden in the shade. I'd ask my friends to come and see an octopus's garden with me. I'd like to be under the sea in an octopus's garden in the shade. We would be warm below the storm in our little hideaway beneath the waves, resting our head on the seabed in an octopus's garden near a cave. We would sing and dance around because we know we can't be found. I'd like to be under the sea in an octopus's garden in the shade. We would shout and swim about the coral that lies beneath the waves. Oh, what joy for every girl and boy, knowing they're happy and they're safe. We would be so happy, you and me, no one here to tell us what to do. I'd like to be under the sea in an octopus's garden with you. In an octopus's garden with you. In an octopus's garden with you. Isn't that an unusual song? Do you remember it? At Octopuss's Garden. Wow, Ringo Starr and the Beatles. Wow, right, it's almost time for our worship song today. And sticking with the animal theme, I've gone for, it's either going to be lamb or deer, isn't it? I've gone for deer, as the deer pants for water. Now, I've had a little practice at the high-pitched one with the horse, so this is another quite a high-pitched one here, so I'm going to have a go at it. Here we go. As the deer pants for water, and the words of this come from Psalm 42, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think so, Psalm 42.
And I was reading about this yesterday, and that psalm was written, 42, was written from the point of view of people being unable to come to public worship due to circumstances beyond their control. Wow, so how appropriate this few weeks at the moment. So I thought it would be an appropriate one to do. As the deer pants for water. Here we go. Just got to get my head around it. Hang on a sec. Here we go.
As the deer pants for the water, so my soul longs after you. You alone are my heart's desire, and I long to worship you. You alone are my strength, my shield. To you alone may my spirit yield. You alone are my heart's desire, and I long to worship you. I want you more than gold or silver, only you can satisfy. You alone are the real joy giver and the apple of my eye. You alone are my strength, my shield. To you alone may my spirit yield. You alone are my heart's desire, and I long to worship you. You're my friend and you are my brother, even though you are a king. I love you more than any other, so much more than anything. You alone are my strength, my shield. You alone may my spirit yield. You alone are my heart's desire, and I long to worship you. Ah, that's lovely, isn't it? As the deer pants for water. So as we continue the animal theme, the next maybe possibly 2 or 3 weeks, we'll keep that one in and get to know that one, okay? So we'll do that each week as our worship song for the next couple of weeks or so. Lovely. Okie dokie. Right, our next one is, this was written in the 1970s. It was written by a man called Bud Luckey. That's an unusual name, isn't it? Bud Luckey. He wrote a lot of songs for Jim Henson on Sesame Street. So he wrote a lot of the sort of sketches and skits and songs that were seen on Sesame Street, children's program. And he worked on commercials with Jim Henson. That's how he got to know him. And he went on to work on a lot of films at Pixar. You know, all the recent famous films. Yeah, as a sort of an older man, really. He died a few years ago. But even into his 80s, he was still working, and he worked on Toy Story and Toy Story 2, A Bug's Life, Monsters, Inc., Finding Nemo, Cars, Ratatouille, and he was even the voice in some of those films. He was Rick Dicker in The Incredibles and Chuckles the Clown in Toy Story 3, and Eeyore in Winnie the Pooh. Okay, here we go then, and this song is called Ladybugs, the Ladybugs Picnic. Okay, the Ladybugs Picnic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ladybugs came to the Ladybugs picnic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And they all played games at the Ladybugs picnic. They had 12 sacks, so they ransacked races. They fell on their backs and fell on their faces. Ladybugs 12 at the Ladybugs picnic. They played jump rope, but the rope it broke, so they just sat around telling knock-knock jokes. Ladybugs 12 at the Ladybugs picnic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ladybugs came to the Ladybugs picnic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and they all play games at the Ladybugs picnic. Instrumental. Kazoos if you've got them. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and they chatted away at the Ladybugs picnic. They talked about the high price of furniture and rugs and fire insurance for ladybugs. Ladybugs 12 at the Ladybugs picnic. Oh, Ladybugs 12 at the Ladybugs picnic. Ah, what a lovely little song that is. The Ladybugs picnic. I hope you liked it. If it was new to you. Okie dokie. Wow, right, from Ladybugs on to our final song of the day. This is, well, I'm not sure whether it should be in this category, really. I'm not sure if it's an animal or a mythical creature. Well, I know it's a mythical creature, but will that count as an animal? It's a dragon. Do you remember? Puff the Magic Dragon. What a lovely song this is. This is from 1962. We're going to finish off with this one this week. So it's called Puff the Magic Dragon. Do you remember who sang it? Well, most famously, Peter, Paul and Mary. Yes, they've cropped up a few times, haven't they, in Lyrics and Lunch? So this is from 1962. Now, it was actually written by a gentleman called Leonard Lipton, who wrote a poem. The poem, it was called Custard the Dragon, the poem. And Peter Yarrow of Peter, Paul and Mary, not Mary, Peter, Paul and Mary, he then adapted the words and wrote this song. So he did give credit to Leonard Lipton. He gave him co-writing credit for it. Anyway, so that was from an original poem called Custard the Dragon about a Relio Trulio little pet dragon. Here we go then, Puff the Magic Dragon. It's a lovely song. Here we go, to finish off this week. Join in, you'll remember it. Here we go. Puff the Magic Dragon lived by the sea, and he frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Little Jackie Paper loved that rascal Puff, and he brought him strings and sealing wax and other fancy stuff. Oh, Puff the Magic Dragon lived by the sea, and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff the Magic Dragon lived by the sea, and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Together they would travel on a boat with billowed sail. Jackie kept a lookout perched on Puff's gigantic tail. Noble kings and princes would bow whene'er they came. Pirate ships would lower their flags when Puff gave out his name. Oh, Puff the Magic Dragon lived by the sea, and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff the Magic Dragon lived by the sea, and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Now a dragon lives forever, but not so little boys. Painted wings and giant's rings make way for other toys. One grey night it happened, Jackie Paper came no more, and Puff that mighty dragon, he ceased his fearless roar. Oh, his head was bent in sorrow, green scales fell like rain. Puff no longer went to play along Cherry Lane. Without his lifelong friend, Puff could not be brave. So Puff that mighty dragon sadly slipped into his cave. Oh, Puff the Magic Dragon lived by the sea, and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff the Magic Dragon lived by the sea, and frolicked in the autumn mist in in a land called Honolulu. Ah, it's a great song, isn't it? Puff the Magic Dragon. Well, I can't believe it. We've almost come to the end. All that remains for us to do is to sing We've All Been Together and Had a Good Sing. So let's do that. We've all been together, together, together. We've all been together and had a good sing with you and me and everyone who was watching. We've all been together and had a good sing. Well done, everybody. So you take care till next week. Hopefully we're back at the normal time next week, Monday at 1 o'clock. So take care, God bless, look after yourselves and each other. I'll see you next week. See you. Bye.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you, Bob. Thanks for all your hard work. Some brilliant songs there, and I hope at home you've been singing along. Well, thank you for watching, and do watch again next week at 1 o'clock. Next Monday. And don't forget too, on a Sunday we have all sorts of things taking place. We have 4 live streams every Sunday of services that you can watch and take part in. Goodbye and God bless from everyone at Christchurch. Bye bye.